right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great episode on your favorite political talk show, The Truth, with Ben Jokes. Ekiti government bans graduation ceremonies in schools over financial burden on parents. And Clement here says, I think this is a step in the right direction. Parents are stressed and stretched with all these unnecessary frivolities. God bless the governor. Now, this is a very good move by the Ekiti state governor, but it is not an isolated case. We need to ask ourselves, why have we become so wicked to one another in the society? Teachers, you go to schools, they want to exploit the parents. We all schooled in this country, for God's sake. Things that we never knew about, that we never heard of. You hear them saying open day, this and that. They want parents to come to school and give money to teachers. And if you don't turn up, it will begin to reflect in the way teachers treat your child or your ward in school. They'll begin to maltreat them because you didn't turn up to give teachers gifts. This is corruption eating deep into the soul of this country. I know you may say, Ben Jokes, you must link everything to corruption, but that is just the truth. Teachers feel that they are poorly paid by government and their private employers. Now they are pouring their frustrations on the parents who are also poorly treated by government and their own private employers. We have become a heartless people. Every facet of the society, you go to filling station, they have tampered with the fuel gauge. You go to schools, they want to exploit parents. You go to marry, they want to exploit the groom. You go everywhere in Nigeria, corruption taking over the soul of this country. As a people, instead of dishing out wickedness on one another, we should be able to think towards ending corruption and restoring sanity to this country. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that despicable one coming from Nyesom Wike. He returned from his medical trip to the UK, and the next thing he vomited was fallacy. And next is that big one coming out of northwest Nigeria. Terrorists have completely humiliated the TINUBU government. They have given an ultimatum to the people of a community and to the government of the day. This is openly challenging the authority of TINUBU and showing him clearly that they have taken over. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video. This video is from a PDP chieftain that I respect, but on this occasion, I will be disagreeing with his opinion for the very first time. Watch this video.
As we are trying to do, in the last national executive meeting we had, almost 7 of our governors were there, and it was refreshing that everybody is now talking how to, discussing how to reorganize the party, put it in a stronger footing for 2027 and other subsequent elections that are coming. Okay. So I don't know who the candidate will be, but the party has zoned the presidency to the south.
South, yes.
And if there is honesty, like you said, yes. And hold on, if there is honesty, they should micro-zone it to southeast, because virtually now we are the only zone, theoretically speaking, that have not had a presidency.
That's a very important
this dispensation,
point.
And maybe northeast too.
Okay, that's a very important point. That means that from your truth, Southeast ought to get the ticket. It means you've eliminated President Goodluck Jonathan as a potential candidate for the PDP, if you were to suggest. And maybe perhaps Peter Obi, who has been touted as maybe coming back to the PDP, might be a candidate for you. Or we hope, of course, and believe with the will of God that we are alive tomorrow, based on what you said.
Well, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria gives everybody right to contest. The Constitution did not talk about, even though they talked about national representation, making sure that every part of the country is represented, involved in what's happening. But something like leadership, running for a public office, you don't force anybody. Sometimes you zone it, and you might not, every zone, I believe, have some capable people to run the affairs of state, either at the state level or national. But when you force people to want to do something, you might not produce the best results. So first and foremost is that there must be desire. There must be willingness, for a people to want to make a contribution before we then said, oh, other people will come to support them if they find they have a viable candidate to do. So in terms of the presidency for 2027, I believe Peter Obi so far has no platform, to the best of my knowledge. He ran last time with Labour Party. He's attended the launching of, what do they call it, ADC. So I don't know what his platform will be. I'll be happy if he joins PDP, because he will bring his credibility to bear on the party as we are reorganizing. I mean, he's not a name you want to introduce in Nigerian politics. Any party that has him today, we know that they have already made more than 30-40% of the election, because he has tremendous support across this country.
You saw that. That was Chief Dan Olasidie speaking about the recent developments in the PDP and the party's chances in 2027. Even though I have written off the PDP for now, Chief Dan Olasi is one of the few men that I still respect within the party. But on this occasion, I disagree with him very strongly. And as a matter of fact, I have come to a point whereby I am beginning to label people who say what he said in this video as anti-opposition. People who are still of the opinion that it will be good for Peter Obi to return to this particular PDP. I see them as anti-opposition and as people who are working for Tinubu. That is my honest opinion. Yes, I appreciate the effort of those that are trying to put the PDP together. It used to be the largest party in Africa, so it should be worked on if there is a problem. But to advise the biggest candidate in the opposition, the candidate that the people are hoping on to turn their fortunes around, to advise him to come and join a PDP that has been infested by Nyesom Wike, shows that you are in a way working against the opposition. You are a member of the PDP. You can see clearly that there are still many people within that party today who are supporting Tinubu, who are saying that Tinubu will return in 2027. So how can you ask a man that is the hope of the opposition to come and join that PDP? A PDP that has not been able to expel Nyesom Wike, that is clearly working for Tinubu. No serious politician would run on the PDP platform in 2027. So asking Peter Obi to come and join the PDP is tantamount to you saying that Peter Obi should rubbish his candidacy. So please, Chief Dan Olasi and other members of the PDP that still have some integrity, stop making these statements. Stop saying that Peter Obi should come and join the PDP. You are saying Obi does not have a platform. Platform is not the issue. You people should work on credible election. Work on credible election. Ensure that the person with the highest votes is the person that INEC will announce. And I am telling you, platform is not the issue here. I have said it before that Peter Obi can walk to any party, not PDP, not Labour Party, not even the coalition ADC. He can walk to any of these parties around and just join. And if a free and fair election is conducted 48 hours after his announcement of joining that new party, that party will still return millions of votes in this country. That is how strong Obi's movement is. He represents the new Nigeria, and his candidacy is what is important to the people. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that one coming from Nyesom Wike after he returned from his shameful medical trip to the UK. And next is that big one coming from northwest Nigeria. Terrorists gave an ultimatum to a community and by extension to the Tinubu government, thereby publicly humiliating the government of the day. Let's start by taking that update from Nyesom Wike. Look at how the papers reported it. 2027, those pushing for Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's return are looking for crisis. Wike, Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has cautioned those urging ex-President Goodluck Jonathan to contest the 2027 presidential election. Wike warned that such moves could destabilize the country, described the campaign as hypocritical, recalling how many of the same voices abandoned Jonathan during his failed 2015 re-election bid. And Sam here says, if Wike says Jonathan's return will cause a crisis, then he is either speaking carelessly or indirectly revealing what they are planning. Because tell me, how can Goodluck Jonathan exercising his democratic rights to contest an election suddenly become a crisis? This is the big question. We are heading for a situation of total anarchy, total lawlessness, where Wike will be the one to tell people whether they can contest for presidential election or not. In as much as I have said that Jonathan should not contest, we said it for different reasons. We said it because we felt that the man was already sitting in a position, as exalted, if not even more exalted, than the seat that he's gunning for. And whatever good he wants to do for Nigeria, there is a Peter Obi who can even do it better. That was why we said he should just sit it out. But Wike coming out to say that there will be crisis, they are trying to cause crisis. What does he mean by that? I mean, this should infuriate every patriotic Nigerian, regardless of your political affiliation. Even if you are an APC supporter, you should be angry at the kind of disgusting statements that are coming out of the camp of the APC, out of the mouth of someone like Nyesom Wike. This does not make sense at all. It is time for Nigerians to look beyond selfishness and greed and begin to see the fact that the soul of this country is being drowned under the madness of the All Progressive Congress, so that we can all come together and see that the APC is sent out of power in 2027. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to this, that update from Northwest Nigeria began making the rounds. Terrorists issued an ultimatum to the people, and the people said that the federal government is aware of the ultimatum, but that the government dares not interfere. And now they are begging Sahara reporters, begging Nigerians to come to their aid because the government has completely failed. Look at how the papers reported it. Panic in Katsina community as bandits impose 10 million naira levy. Give 2-week ultimatum. Terrorists locally dubbed as bandits have given residents of Ilali in the Matazu local government area of Katsina State 2 weeks to raise and pay them a levy of 10 million naira, failing which they would attack the community. A source told reporters that the bandits, through an intermediary, met with leaders of the community where they were informed to contribute the money if they wanted to stay in their village peacefully. When asked if the security agencies are aware of the levy and the threat of violence if the payment is not made, the source confirmed they are aware of the whole situation. He said most villagers have fled their homes after being asked by the bandits to pay the imposed levy. Fulani bandits this week asked some villages in our areas to pay them levies. My own village, Ilali, which is in Matazu local government area, Katsina State, were asked to pay 10 million naira fine if we want to cultivate our crops. They also gave us 2 weeks ultimatum to make the payment. According to the bandits, if we don't fulfill the promise, they will attack the whole village. Please, Sahara reporters, help us. The security agencies are aware, but we know nothing will be done by them. Another resident said, the situation is really worrisome. We are living in fear while most villagers have fled their homes. Deadly attacks have raged across Katsina State, where bandits have thrived. Farming and herding communities in the state have long been terrorized by gangs who raid villages, stealing cattle and kidnapping residents for ransom. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet by engineer OJ says, it is only in a failed state that this happens. Where is our DSS and their letter writing agents? Please send a letter to the bandits in Katsina. The DSS, they are busy chasing shadows. They are busy looking for journalists to arrest. And this tweet here by Just says, Nigeria 2025, where bandits send ultimatums and the government send thoughts and prayers. Who is really in charge? And Ebere here says, has Nigeria really become a failed state? Where is official DSS Nigeria that is more concerned about the people insulting president? And Makinde here says, I am from Okitipupa local government area of Ondo State, Southwest. There is so much killing in Ondo right now, but sadly, our people are not talking about it. Is it because Ondo people are not original Yoruba? Is it because we, the Ogun, Osun, Ekiti, Ondo, are the children of Oodua called to slaves? Oh, even the Yorubas now are seeing themselves as outcasts because of how the Tinubu administration has neglected them. But even the administration itself is handicapped. Their hands are now tied because this is an open challenge by these terrorists. They have placed an ultimatum on these communities. One village is to pay 10 million naira, and there are several other villages to pay that same amount. Security forces are aware. The Tinubu regime is aware of this ultimatum, and they are not going to do anything. Even the villagers themselves are saying it, that they know that nothing will be done. This is pathetic. Nigeria has finally become a failed state where terrorists have openly taken over several parts, notable parts of our country, and there is absolutely nothing that the government can do about it. And I am telling you, these people are spreading. Yesterday, I was telling you about their activities in Kogi State, around the Igala side of Kogi State, which is the largest part of the state. People are paying this kind of levies to bandits. It is happening also in the southwest. You saw it in that last comment. That man said they are killing people anyhow in Ondo State, but it is not being reported. This is the true state of the country, and it will never abate. This situation will not go down, let alone end, until the people say, no, we cannot continue like this with the evil or cultic group called the APC. And when we get them out of power, 6 months is enough to get rid of insurgency in Nigeria. But until then, make I still enter town, make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of na I dey here. So don't go away.